The interesting thing was really when we started this project, it was quite science fiction-y, right?
The BioNtainers were an idea in the early stages of the pandemic. So in March 2020, so when the pandemic really just started with the lockdowns and so on, we knew if we had a vaccine, which we were developing, but we were not quite sure, we knew thinking from the end, we need billions of doses to be produced. And then we were thinking, how do we do this? And we have to have a concept to scale it up. And we were thinking modular, we were thinking containers, and then a colleague actually took a pen and drew the first sketch of like, this is how it could look like.
The BioNtainer is an assembly of containers that contain both the clean rooms and the equipment that's needed to manufacture, to run a process from end to end, essentially.
The BioNtainer addresses a number of problems. First of all, making manufacturing available where it is needed. Yeah? And the second is making it available as quickly as possible. That means when the vaccine is approved and the rollout happens. The technical aspects of that is if we want to address manufacturing, we want, of course, to have the same quality everywhere. Yeah? So that means regardless whether a vaccine is produced in Europe or in the US or in Africa, it should be the same quality, it should be the same process, it should be the same material. Yeah? So what the BioNtainer solution should accomplish is fast manufacturing and manufacturing the same quality as anywhere else.
The concept of a BioNtainer is you need 6 40-foot sea containers. So 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. On the top you have like HVAC systems and IT and so on, and on the bottom you have the clean room basically. It's 6 containers that form one BioNtainer. And you need one BioNtainer for drug substance production and one BioNtainer for the formulation. So the first milestone that was really moving is when I first saw one in our BioNTech Incubation Center, Innovation Center in Marburg. So it looked very great, very nice with like a space-wide, like a space station, and it was surrounded by all the people that were looking at it. It was a fantastic view.
This is the big facility, so this is where we actually house the first prototypes of the BioNtainers. We as a team are working collectively to try and get the whole facility up and running, to be able to use it as a blueprint for other facilities that we'll set up around the world in future. The first one being the one in Rwanda, of course. It's all part of our mission here at BioNTech to improve access to medicines to people globally and all communities around the world.
One advantage of the BioNtainers is you can deploy them fairly quickly because you can produce all of this high tech at home, so to say, and then you can put it on any mobile vehicle, be it a ship, be it a plane, be it a train or something, a truck. The second milestone was when we transported to Rwanda. And the plane came in, it's like a really big bird that landed on the runway in Kigali, turned around and then opened the hatch, and out came 6 containers, i.e. one big BioNtainer.
When I came in May, the BioNtainers had arrived in March. And going to the warehouse and seeing this BioNtainer that people had told me about before I joined BioNTech, it was a surreal moment that this is really happening.
The second milestone is actually the arrival of the BioNtainers in March this year, where we could actually even sense more of now having the BioNtainer babies. That's how we all call them here.
So when I learned about this project, when I saw it on the news, I was very intrigued and I really wanted to join and make a difference, because me being part of BioNTech is making a difference for Rwanda and for Africa again.
So the BioNtainer concept is not only like the hardware or the clean room, it's also the automation concept. It's a design concept, and it's also the documentation around that. And very important, it's also the training of the people that work inside the BioNtainer.
So with BioNTech establishing its manufacturing site here in Kigali, it was going to be a groundbreaking initiative for Africa. And It's really glad to also see that the people who are going to be working in the facility are coming from across Africa.
Mu mwaka maze muri BioNTech nigiyemo ibintu byinshi. BioNTech yaduhaye amahugurwa ya GMP, ni ukuvuga ngo ni ukumenya ibikorerwa mu ruganda. Nkanjye wari ukoze muri pharmaceutical industry bwa mbere, nzi uko mRNA vaccine zizakorwa. Ni amahirwe menshi kubimenya, atari kuvuga ngo ninjye uzabikora, ariko nzi uburyo bizakorwa.
During the pandemic, we have basically learned two things. One thing is that our technology, which we have developed, mRNA, is very powerful and could help to address infectious diseases in particular. And the second thing we have learned is that there is still a lot to do in order to ensure health equity. And this is not only a task for selected people, but for all citizens of this world.
There's a specific moment that highlighted to me why BioNTech is different, and that's its in culture. We were in a meeting, a discussion, and one of the senior managers pointed out that all you need to have is clarity of vision, clarity of objectives, and the how, you'll figure out that later. So what that meant to me is that we have got a safe psychological space to harness whatever is in you, your expertise, your creativity, to come up with solutions.
mRNA can be used to solve a lot of the diseases that burden the continent and the world in general. So this is an extremely important time, both for Kigali, Rwanda, and for Africa as a continent. I'm really excited to be a part of the pioneers that make this happen, because it's for the betterment of this continent, be it from the training that we will have to do, the capacity building for this country and the continent, be it the products that we will manufacture in the plant, or the collaborations, the possible collaborations that are bound to happen, because manufacturing, you can't do it alone.
There are many unknowns. There are, however, two things I definitely know, namely that science and technology will be the tailwind to reach the vision of equitable access. And the second thing is that it requires collaboration, which is based on relational interactions, and I'm very confident that we will find the right partners here.
It is important that we consider this milestone, the opening as our site, as one aspect of the overall project. What we want to accomplish here is to create something sustainable. Creating something sustainable is not just building a manufacturing facility. It's about using it in a way that accomplishes the goal, that we can develop vaccines, that we can manufacture vaccines, that we can do clinical trials, that we get new vaccines, for example, our tuberculosis and malaria vaccines, which are in development.
I want to leave a legacy where I have actually solved a problem, no matter how small, within my community. It gives me purpose in my daily job, that the end goal is to actually save lives, and save lives of these children or adults that live in areas where they do not have resources. So if we have the probability of developing a product that's eventually getting to our markets and be used by our people, that for me would already be a very big win.
What I love is that BioNTech is consisting of people from more than 80 countries. Yeah? So we are a global team, and we feel the global responsibility.